Have you ever had a translation that didn't meet your needs or that you paid too much for? In this video, we'll show you how to avoid that happening with a simple process focusing on your translation's purpose. The trick is matching your purpose to the right type of translation for the translation quality level you need. We show you how to do this in 4 simple steps that'll ensure you always get the right translation for your purpose, and it might just save you some money. I'm Dennis Brown, and our company has been in the language translation services business for over 20 years. Keep watching. The first of our 4 steps is to identify your translation purpose. Now, in most cases, this will be obvious. It's what you intend to use the translation for or what function it will serve for you. Here are the 6 most common purposes for business translations, which we'll go through one by one. Firstly, where you only need a broad overview of a document and the details don't matter. Second, a document solely for background information. Now, these might just be read once or kept as reference materials. Third are documents for internal circulation that are of lesser importance, so routine, non-critical documents solely for use within your organisation. Fourth are key documents for internal circulation, so these are where an inaccurate translation would be a problem. Fifth are client-facing materials. Now, these always carry reputational and possibly financial risk for your organisation. And finally, we have business-critical documents. Now, these are the documents that are essential for your operational success. Here they are in summary. So the first step to getting your ideal translation is to identify which of these 6 purposes your project falls into. In step 2, we identify the translation quality your purpose needs. We can think of translation quality as a continuum. At the lower end, a translation may not be usable, and others may be good in parts, but include errors such as typos and incorrect wording. Now, these may still be acceptable, depending on your translation purpose. And at the upper end, we have high-quality translations, well-worded and totally accurate. We're talking about translation quality here, but what does that mean? Well, there are 4 components to it: meaning, wording or expression, grammar and spelling, and consistency. Here, we can focus on the first 2. Basically, we want to know if the translation has the same meaning as the original and how well worded it is. A high-quality translation will have the same meaning as the text that was translated, whereas one where meaning is omitted, added, or changed will be of lesser quality. For wording, a high-quality translation will read well, using natural language. In fact, the reader may not realize it's a translation at all. Conversely, a translation with unnatural or unclear wording is of lesser quality. We can apply these criteria to our continuum and see the correlation. Now, the point here is you won't always need the highest quality. If you only need the gist of what a text says, then the occasional inaccurate meaning or awkward phrasing shouldn't matter too much. Conversely, you wouldn't want this for any of your business-critical or client-facing translations. So different translation purposes imply different quality requirements in accuracy and expression. Let's identify those requirements. Now here, we're really assessing how important a translation error or some inaccurate wording would be. Lower quality is generally acceptable for an overview. Some inaccuracies and poor wording wouldn't stop you understanding what the text is about. For background information, accuracy is important, although the odd inaccuracy won't be critical. And the translation doesn't need to read beautifully, just be understandable. Our third purpose requires reasonably good accuracy and quality of expression. As they're non-essential documents, some inaccuracy and less polished wording can be accepted. Key documents need high accuracy and high quality of expression to avoid any ambiguities and lack of clarity. Client-facing documents require the highest possible accuracy and excellent wording. You don't want any shortcomings when your reputation is on the line. Business-critical translations also demand the highest level of accuracy and expression. There's simply no place for ambiguity or unclear wording here. So we've now identified the translation quality we need for our purpose, and we can go on to step 3. But before we do that, there's something I must stress. What we've identified here are the minimum acceptable quality levels for each translation purpose. You may want better, especially if your translation could have a different use later on. A higher quality translation will always serve you better. In fact, some clients always opt for better quality, regardless of purpose. It can be better to be safe than sorry after all. But there are 2 key reasons why most clients don't do this: time and cost. Unsurprisingly, the higher the quality of your translation, the more expensive it is and the longer it takes to produce. Most of us don't want to pay more than we need to, and there'll be times when you need a quicker turnaround. In step 3, we make sure you get the right type of translation for the quality you need. There are 4 main types of translation used in business, and you can get more information on these and when to use them from our blog article, video, and infographic. The first of these is machine translation. Now that's a translation by a computer program with no human involvement, like Google Translate. The second type is to get a machine translation and then edit it to fix its errors and unclear wording. Third is translation by a professional human translator following best practice processes. And the fourth type is human translation plus a second translator review of the translation as a safety check and to further refine the wording. Now these 4 methods typically achieve different levels of translation quality, as shown here. And I need to stress that the human translators we're referring to here are proven, experienced professionals who follow best practice. They're the sort of translators we use, but of course not all translators meet these requirements. Now look what happens when we overlay the 2 charts we've shown you. There's a very neat correlation between our translation purposes and the 4 translation methods, so we can see the type of translation that's suitable for each purpose. Again, it's important to stress that these are to reach the minimum required translation standard, and that higher quality will always serve you better. Now we've seen that the 4 types of translation vary in quality, but they also vary in cost and turnaround time. So matching your translation purpose with the minimum suitable type of translation ensures you get the most economical price and best turnaround time for the quality you need. Our final step is obvious, but vital if you're going to get the translation quality you need. Here's how to choose the right translator. For machine translation, use Google Translate. If something doesn't make sense, try it in Microsoft Translator to see if it's clearer, but always be aware of the limits of these programs. For machine translation plus editing, you're best to find a translation company who offers this service. Sorry, we don't. They may refer to it as PEMT, which is Post-Editing Machine Translation. Or you can source a translator online yourself, but it has some risk. You definitely want someone with experience in this type of work. For translation type 3, use our budget professional translation service. Our translators are skilled, experienced, and will provide the quality you need. Alternatively, use another translation company, but make sure they're genuinely quality focused. Or you can source a translator yourself. Now if you're considering this, we suggest you read these 2 key blog articles to help you know what to look for. For Human Translation Plus Review, use our Quality Assured translation service. It's designed precisely for this type of job and will give you the very best translation standard every time. Once again, if you decide to use another translation company, make sure they're quality focused. Most individual translators don't have their work independently peer reviewed, so using a translation company is generally better here. So that's it, your 4-step process to always getting exactly the translation you need. It'll deliver you a high quality translation when you need it, and one of lesser quality when that will serve your purpose. So it's a process that's really about value for money. It gives you the most economical translation for your needs. We hope you find it useful. Now make sure you head over to our blog article for more information and a free step-by-step summary to keep for reference, and you'll find many more practical articles there too. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.